Get the hell out of here, telepathic spy dog. Right. Now, remember this woman?
Fellow Australians, if you are seeing me now, it means I have been murdered.
Good news, everyone. She hasn't, so pretend you didn't see that clip. But bad news, she's running for Parliament. Again. Ms Hanson announced today she's seeking a seat in the September election. News that was certainly welcomed by my racist uncle. Speaking with News Limited, my uncle's media outlet of choice, Ms Hanson said she was looking at the New South Wales electorate of Hunter or her current Queensland base of Colleyville south of Brisbane. However, there is some doubt over whether she'll actually get elected because we all remember this.
If you are seeing me now, it means I have been murdered.
No, not that one, the other one.
The gay Mardi Gras.
No, I don't like it. Because it's promoting something, okay, that is not natural.
In addition, Ms Hanson is now 58 years old, so it'll be at least another 7 years until that kind of thinking can be sort of tolerated because she's from a different time, just like my intolerant grandmother. Now, for further analysis, our Gen Y reporter Nick Richardson joins us, as always, from his bedroom.
Hey, old man. Did you fight in the war?
Oh, for the last time, Nick, no, I was a deserter. Now, how do you think voters are going to respond to Ms Hanson's campaign?
Well, I think she'll do pretty well. Let's not forget she made it to the second last round of Celebrity Apprentice and the final of Dancing with the Stars. If she can pass policy as well as she can pass a doble, we're in good hands.
Yeah, but Nick, federal elections aren't reality TV shows.
Oh, I know. I'd happily vote if I just had to text the name of my favourite politician so they could win a seat in Parliament, along with $250,000 cash and a Ford Cougar.
To elect Craig Emerson to the seat of Rankin, just text 1-800-EMERSON. Lines close 7:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I can think of much worse ways to elect people, like the current way. Sure beats voting for Kevin Rudd only to have him thrown out by people you didn't vote for. And Pauline's no less qualified than anyone else in Parliament. Rock stars, tennis players, she'll be the most famous one in the House. Like, who's Craig Emerson? What show did they find him on? Everybody Dance Now?
Nick, she's not just a reality star. Ms Hanson was in Parliament from 1996 to 1998.
I can't remember that, Tom. I was just a kid. But if she's got experience, that's even better. She's perfect for the job.
Yeah, not really. In 1996, in her maiden speech in Parliament, she said, "I believe we're in danger of being swamped by Asians."
Ugh. But surely she's changed her opinion by now.
Oh yeah, sure she has. Here she is 3 years ago trying to sell her house.
Would you sell the house to an Asian?
Not to an Asian who lives in another country, to an Australian who's of Asian background, no problems whatsoever.
See? That's much better.
Yeah, but then she said this.
A Muslim?
No.
Oh, no.
Yep.
She sure can rumba, though.
Yeah, Nick Richardson there, ignorant. Turning, though, to someone who does remember Ms Hanson's first foray into politics, we cross now to our senior political correspondent, Mark Humphries. Mark, why is she running for Parliament again?
Well, firstly, because she thinks it's important she be there again to create the debate, to make sure they are listening to the Australian people. Secondly, she didn't get chosen for Celebrity Splash.
So, Mark, at this stage, do you think she has any chance?
No, Josh Thomas already took her spot.
Right. Now, is this a genuine political move or just some weird reinvention?
Well, this is Australia, Tom. It's the land of opportunity. Then failure, then opportunity. Alan Bond, 1.8 billion in the red. Then in 2008, he's back on the BRW rich list. Mark Chopper Reed, kidnapper, now he's a children's author. Reinvention is big business in this country.
And Mark, do you think this might inspire other comebacks?
Oh, absolutely, Tom. I can almost hear the new single from Pauline Panstown.
Turning now to our second story, and a Melbourne man is facing terrorism-related charges over the alleged possession of an Al-Qaeda magazine called Inspire. The accused man has pleaded not guilty to 7 charges of having copies of the magazine, with the court hearing that in a police interview after his arrest, the man said he was only interested in reading them for the current affairs articles. That excuse certainly never worked with my parents. Now, I think this might be the only occasion when saying I was just looking at it for the graphic pornography would actually help. Now, surprisingly, the magazine has been incredibly popular with women, and our reporter Rachel Corbett is a woman. Rach, why has Inspire magazine been so popular with the ladies?
Because you're probably thinking of Inspire magazine, Tom, or possibly Inspire magazine, or even Inspire magazine, but absolutely not Inspire magazine.
Right, so you're saying it was a poor choice of name?
Well, not really. It's just very confusing. I thought the 4-page spread, "Oh Hesitant One, It's an Obligation," was going to be advice on how to get a man interested in foreplay. And I was also really excited about the feature article, "Remote Control Detonation," because I've been looking for tips on how to get the remote out of my husband's hand and destroy it for years, but it's not actually about that.
So what did you think the objectives of Operation Hemorrhage was about?
My period?
Yep, that's confronting, but perfectly natural. Now, in light of this man's arrest, should the rest of us worry about the potential for being arrested based on our own internet activity? Rachel's simple mistake with that stupidly named magazine is one we could all easily make, with many of us falling down terrible internet holes every day. For example, in researching today's story, our intern Evan had to look up Inspire magazine, which led him to the magazine's wiki page, which took him to the Wikipedia page of former editor Samir Khan. And a few clicks later, he was at Bin Laden's letter to America. In just 20 seconds, Evan went from researching a story to airing a terrorist hateful message of global jihad on a government broadcaster, which leaves him pretty squarely at the bottom of an internet hole. Evan's now in a government holding cell awaiting trial, and we'd love to intervene, but just don't want to be implicated. And speaking of trials, an Australian law report has thrown juries into the spotlight, following a series of incidents around the world in which jurors turned to social media to help them reach a verdict. For example, in 2008, a British juror was dismissed from a child abduction trial after she went on Facebook and wrote, "I don't know which way to go, so I'm holding a poll." Then in another case, a juror actually befriended the accused and traded messages with him on Facebook. And I gotta say, it's terrible in this day and age to see people using their online presence to influence legal proceedings. You see, the rules governing a jury are very strict and include a prohibition on making any inquiries online during a trial. In our own lives too, we're being judged all the time. When you post a tweet and no one retweets it, that's a jury of your peers saying, "We hate you, Tom." So you sentence that tweet to death. It's a hive mind mentality. And for more on this, we're joined in the studio by social media correspondent Clark Richards. Clark, have we now reached a point where we can't make up our minds on our own?
Great question, Tom.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I just posted it on Facebook. So far it's received 1 yes, 2 likes, and someone made this picture.
All right, so can we make up our minds on our own?
Sarah says no.
But Clark, it's illegal for jurors to discuss the matter outside the jury room. It is just meant to be those 12 people.
12 people isn't nearly enough to make these sorts of life-changing decisions. I would need at a restaurant that has less than 30 reviews on Yelp. You think I would let my opinion decide the fate of another human being? I can't be trusted. I thought I liked those pulled pork tacos I ordered last night, but 15,000 people on Eatability tell me I'm wrong. I don't need that blood on my hands.
So you're suggesting that we use people outside the courtroom with no working knowledge of the case to decide the verdict. Is that it?
Siri, is that it?
Did you say show me tits?
Yep.
So in response to this growing problem, the Australian Attorneys General commissioned the report that determined the only way to guarantee jurors are not exposed to prejudicial material about their trials would be to abolish juries. But we've all seen how that story ends. So if we don't want the Honourable Dread QC making decisions, then the report recommends sending jurors on training courses before trials and constantly warning them against external influences. But that's kind of closing the barn door after the Twitter bird has flown. The solution isn't training jurors not to use social media, it's training lawyers how to exploit it. And for that, we invite lawyers to watch this handy instructional video.
Hi, I'm Mark Humphreys. Let's approach the bench. Be more selective when you're choosing your jury. Try to pick people who don't have any Facebook friends, people who still have the egg as their Twitter profile photo, or old people who post private messages as status updates. This is Sean. He has opinions. He reads books, engages in social media, and tries to stay on top of current events. Ideal juror? No! This is Cara. She has no friends, doesn't know how to buy things off eBay, and still watches VHS on her non-flat screen TV. Ideal juror? You bet! So remember, if a juror has friends, he's not a friend to justice.
Thanks, Mark. Very informative. Of course, we could always just take away their phones and devices during the trial, but then what would people amuse themselves with while on jury duty? Good night.